Hi, I'm Dan Wasson. I'm a producer for Star Wars The Force Unleashed, and I'm here to show you a little bit about the PlayStation Portable version. We're going to be taking you to one of our early levels in the game, but before we get into it, I want to tell you a little bit more about what The Force Unleashed is about. You're going to be playing as Darth Vader's secret apprentice, who's a new character, and he's sent out in the world to hunt down the last of the Jedi. The PSP version has the same great story that you're going to find on the other consoles, but we also have a lot of unique content. There's locations and characters and missions you're not going to find on the next-gen platforms. Okay, so we're going to show you one of the early levels in the game, which is the TIE Fighter construction facility, which is under attack by a Jedi general named Coda. Darth Vader sends you here to hunt him down, and he says, "Leave no witnesses. I don't want the Emperor to know who you are." So you're going to be fighting stormtroopers as well as Coda's guards as you find your way through the factory and try to hunt down Coda. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the action. This is one of the early levels in the game. We're going to take you through kind of some of the early combat, teach you some of the moves, and show you really how the PSP delivers on all the action and excitement of The Force Unleashed. You're really powerful right off the bat. You can grip things as big as these TIE Fighter wings, use them as weapons. You can also use things like the exploding barrels. There's a lot of explosive objects in the game, so if you recognize what they look like, and that blinky light's kind of a giveaway, you can pick that up and do a lot of collateral damage as well. So one of the really powerful moves you can do from the start is called Repulse. And it sends out this big shockwave, knocks everybody back, temporarily stuns most of your enemies, so you can get up and you can get up close and take them out with your lightsaber. You can shoot them from a distance with lightning. You kind of combine things that are melee attacks or up close with range attacks like lightning, which works from a distance. Throwing your lightsaber is kind of a range attack. So the TIE Fighter mission is really about introducing you to how powerful you can be as the apprentice. Right away you've got lightning and push, and you can throw your lightsaber, and you even got some basic combos, so you're able to deal with your enemies real easily, fight your way through them, and have a lot of fun right off the bat. These are the kind of moves we always envisioned with The Force Unleashed from the beginning, that you would be strong enough to take a TIE Fighter wing and slam it into a wall and then use that as a way to, move through the environment. So even though the PSP has a smaller screen, we really don't think there's any drop-off in the excitement and the action. There's guys flying everywhere. We've got real physics working on the PSP, enemies ragdolling, lots of things blowing up, and everywhere you go, you're going to leave this trail of destruction behind you in the environment. So I don't think there's anything that you're missing from the PSP experience. So on the PSP, we've got these big boss fights, just like the other versions, and they really feel epic. And when you get in there and you're fighting the AT-ST for the first time, it's got this big scale to it, but it's also challenging missions. So you got to use strategy, find different ways to defeat this guy, because you can't just run up and whack on him with your lightsaber. He's probably going to step on you. We've got mini games like this stomp mini game. If you get too close, he tries to crush you with his foot, but you mash the button fast enough, you're going to do some damage to him. If you do enough damage to this guy, you're going to knock him down, you're going to get ready for the finishing move. When the icon appears on screen, you can trigger that by hitting the circle button. What follows is a set of button combinations. You got to time them up correctly, and if you do them right, you're going to get the big payoff. And these are also randomized, so if you fail, you get kicked out of the scene and you actually have to do it again, but the buttons won't be the same. So there's a little added challenge to the minigames. The PSP version has an exclusive mode called Historic Missions, which will let you go back into the movies and put you in the shoes of some of the characters you're familiar with from the films, but this time you're unleashed, so you can go into those same locations and kick butt with the Force. In this mission, you're actually playing as Darth Vader against Luke. Of course, you're going to be unleashed. You're going to be Darth Vader, but you're going to have all the amazing powers and combos that the apprentice ends up with in the single-player game. So this is really like nothing you've ever seen before. Right off the bat, you can see that Luke is also unleashed. Every Jedi in these games, everyone in all these missions, is also going to have the same kind of powers as you. So you really got to give it your all. It's going to be really tough to defeat him. You see these moves are huge, they're really big, so we just thought it'd be a lot of fun, take you back to the movies, but give it a kind of a different twist on things. You can get in, enjoy the fun of the historic mission in probably about 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay. Alright, so that was a preview of the PSP version of the TIE Fighter Construction Factory. This is just kind of the beginning. There's so much more in store. The PSP has a ton of extra content. We've got historic missions. We've got a lot of unique modes like multiplayer you're not going to find on any other platform. And of course you get the same great story as Darth Vader's secret apprentice, and it's all wrapped up in being The Force Unleashed, so everything is huge, over the top, really powerful.